She's coming from a time of the 1400s.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
now, hold on. Now, I know what you're
70s.
going with. Yeah, we up to the 70s now. We talking about history here. From
Yes.
there to where we at now with. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys. All right, join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
What you gonna do when it...
Cabo Verde is a chain of 10 islands that are located about 385 miles off the west coast of Senegal on the mainland of Africa. What is now known as Cabo Verde was first discovered in 1465 by a group of explorers that were traveling under the Portuguese flag and started to bring over enslaved Africans from the mainland to populate and work the land. It was very easy for people to go to Cabo Verde to procure enslaved Africans rather than go to the mainland. A lot of people that ended up in the Americas either came through or came straight from Cabo Verde. There were many populations that were able to escape slavery and head out into the mountains where they formed communities which were called Verdeans, so maroon communities. They continued their own traditions, which ultimately became sort of the root of Cape Verdean traditions.
We are unique people because we are 10 islands, and each island have his own magic, his own culture, and everyone of the island knows the culture of each one.
I like that. He sounds so in tune and connected to all these islands.
Yes.
Like he sounds like it's just down the street type of stuff. Oh, that's
Right,
my
that's
homie
what-
that's down the block type
that's
of conversation.
what I'm getting from it as well.
For real.
Yes.
Look at the population of Cabo Verde. There are no Africans that were indigenous to that land, at least that we can report, or that there are any records to validate. So everybody who's in Cabo Verde came from some other part of Africa. So I can tell you, just from my own research and studies, that I can look at Nigeria, for example, and see their naming ceremonies and see ceremonies that we do in Cabo Verde, the Set celebration, for example, where you wait 7 days, you pray for your child, you bring items to the house, and then you name your child and you have a big celebration.
Okay, so in Roots, y'all know the impact that Roots had around the world. In that story, he talked about his dad's family or his mom's family. I don't remember, but Kunta Kinte. At the beginning of the story, the dad is the one who named him.
Right.
And he would go and get advice from different people, but he didn't tell anyone what Kunta's name was until the day that he was announcing it to the people in the village. He told his wife, and then he told the people. He was like, "My baby's name is Kunta Kinte," and yeah, so he waited 7 days, and it was up to the dad. So I wonder if she's going to say something like that.
And similarities, too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of words in our Cape Verdean Creole that are directly linked to Wolof, to Bantu, to many other languages. So there's a lot of influences and roots that you find within Cape Verdean culture that you can easily trace back to different parts of Africa, whether it be religion or food, definitely music.
What makes Cape Verde unique is its traditions. You know, it's food, it's a musical culture. It has a bunch of different things all mixed up into one thing, and that's what makes it Cabo Verdeanidad. You know,
Our music, I think, is one of the most unique things that we have.
Caso bastante único. Like nós música, nós cultura, que é essencial na identidade cabo-verdiana.
There are a lot of well-known Cape Verdeans, some of which you may or may not know are Cape Verdean. We have people in all different sectors. One of my favorites that I like to talk about is Judge Layton, who was the first African-American judge. He is Cape Verdean. Layton was his name. It was changed to Layton. Paul Gonsalves, who was a tenor saxophone player in Duke Ellington's band. 70s disco group, the Tavars, which worked closely with the Bee Gees and had numerous hits that many people are aware of. Horace Silver, who was a big heavyweight in the jazz scene.
Now, y'all got to think about where she's coming from with these names and how important and popular these names are. She's coming from a time of the 1400s.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
now, hold on. Now, I know what you're going with. Yeah, we up to the 70s now. We talking about history here. From there to where we at now with Cape Verde. There you go. I was going to make a beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically saying that it's important that she's mentioned these men and women because of the history that they came from.
Okay, so the history from Africa. I'm eager to see like the connection to the United States. Well, they came to the. Okay, I get it. Okay. I got it.
Walter Tavares, who's actually from Cabo Verde but was drafted to the Atlanta Hawks in 2014. Anika Nani Rose is somebody who is doing her thing. Michael Beach, from Waiting to Exhale. He was not the best guy in that movie, right? Elle Varner, who is a musician. She's also Cape Verdean. Amber Rose, who is Cape Verdean. A lot of people know Amber. There's a great fashion photographer, Ken Barbosa, and he's pretty well known in the industry.
Sim, para dizer a verdade, na nossa terra tinha problema para resolver, tinha coisa que devia ser resolvida. Eu não sabia que tem alguma pobreza, pessoas que também ajudam em muita coisa, né?
I think life in Cabo Verde continues to be difficult. We have high rates of unemployment, upwards of 30, sometimes 40%. People do still have to rely on money being sent from abroad, goods being sent from abroad in order to survive. The issue that many Africans are facing right now living in the United States, with the changes in the immigration laws, you can be deported for very minor offenses, being stopped for speeding, for example, or not paying child support. So this is obviously something that is life-altering, because when you're deported, what happens to the family that gets left behind? And now you're in a country where there aren't a lot of economic opportunities, so how do you then take care of your family? So those are some of the issues that Cape Verdeans are facing. I think also Cape Verdeans have always struggled to represent their African identity within the scope of American in the racism that exists in the United States. And I think Cape Verdeans have often wanted to distance themselves from being lumped in with African Americans, but at the same time not wanting to deny our African heritage. So I think, much like a lot of other people who come from African populations, for example from the Caribbean or other parts of Africa, there's a little bit of a struggle for Cape Verdeans in trying to figure out exactly where we belong in this country. We're Black, but we have a different culture, and sometimes we're just struggling to figure out where we belong.
That was a beautiful video. And sometimes I feel like people struggle with that because the lack of knowledge of one. Mm-hmm. We don't know. Like, if I never knew her background, if I never knew anything about New Orleans, I would struggle to get to know her because I wouldn't see her history. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would just see her image and be like, she looks standoffish, she look different. We don't know who she is, but it's my baby, so y'all know where we coming from. Like, it's my girl. But yeah, so I feel that people need to understand a little bit more of history and things around the world in general, because you don't know who you're walking towards, who you're walking across, who you're passing paths with. Man, it's big.
Right. Okay, so it's interesting. She left a lot of like open-ended like conversations.
Oh, that's big.
That we can have from just this her ending. First of all, let's talk about Africans who come to the United States and feeling that they have to distance themselves and not wanting to be grouped in with what we already deal with in the United States. I find that interesting because, again, we have been, sharing a lot of discussions and a lot on the channel. Black Americans we are divided within ourselves. To begin with, we have colorism issues. We have financial class issues. We have upbringing clashes. We have a lot of that going on, and then us being black is an issue within itself, and then you go deeper into black women having an issue as well. So it's a lot of different issues, and then when it's always that it's a sensitive topic between Black Americans and Africans, because some Africans feel that Black Americans shouldn't even have African in front of Americans. But then we're living in a country where we are categorized, not just us, but Asian Americans. All Americans are categorized.
Yeah.
So you wanted our thoughts on this. This is our thoughts. Again, when we talk about things like this on the channel, this is a conversation for mature adults only. No disrespect, no racist comments, no disrespectful comments of any kind will be tolerated in the comment section. I mean that with all seriousness. Okay? So, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled the super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as the join feature too. What's the join feature for, babe?
To become a VIP member. I always say it under my breath when you saying this, so I know what's going on here. But yeah, the join feature to become a VIP member. Definitely check that out.
Check out the description box below to send in your links. We'll see you soon.
Peace.